Who are you? Well, my name is. I'm Grumpy Bear. Grumpy Bear? You mean like being wretchful, but for no ground's sake or why? Yeah, grumpy is one of the many feelings or moods that God has given us that a lot of folks don't like, but grumpiness happens to be one of them. So scathe it or shame it or guilt it if you need to. But I have never been in a happy mood. You never been in a happy mood. Never been happy or glad or glee or anything like that. Or proud. No. Well, that's kind of. You're a Care Bear, right? So, how could grumpiness go along with careness or caring? That's a good asking thing, Rainbow Bright. Because I still, can't come up with the answer to that. But I am not as bad as, Griswell. Not as bad as him. Because since he's angry or mad or wretched, all right? I'm not as bad as he is. And I'm not going around, seeking to make everyone angry or irked or wretchful as he is. So I'm not as bad as him. Oh, I heard all about him from the other Care Bears. The small ones we got Five Below, the kind of other smaller ones we got from, the Salvation Army, the Helping Fighting Arm, Give and Frith Middle, and then you from the Vinlander Frith Middle. Wow, why couldn't you gotten all of us from Walmart or something? Because it's been worth too much. Anyway, see what I mean? You know, yeah, you heard all about him from all the times that you met with them. And all the times that you came to CAREALOT, and I guess you'd be in CAREALOT again. Yeah. Well, I tell you something. It's not the first time, or even the 2nd time, that Rainbow has been at CAREALOT, because she's been at least at CAREALOT 2 times before that. You know? And we all know that there's a lot of Care Bears, and they all have names or feelings or mood names. We all know that, that there's someone who, takes care of things or watches over things, known as the Great Cloud Keeper. But then again, that could be the Care Bear's name for God. You would be right about that, Twink. He's in the Great Cloud Keeper, or God, as you want to call him. Because God gave mankind and womankind moods and feelings. But then you have to pick the right way to handle those moods and feelings, right? Right. Well, since you said grumpy, you were never happy, or you were never glad or glee or any of those other ones. You see this rainbow strap here? I could make a rainbow. And if you look at that, that will make you happy. Wow. Yeah, that rainbow is beautiful. It is wonderful. Do you even know the saga behind the rainbow? Well, let me tell you. After God made the great flood, and God made a rainbow as an oath to all mankind and womankind, that he would never ever do a great flood ever again. No need how bad things got. No need how sinful folks happen to be. He would never handicap anyone ever again, and never end life on earth by a great flood. But you see, but that oath wasn't strong enough to keep mankind and womankind near to him. So God had to have Jesus be the one that would have the hookup, the bond, the bridge between us and God and Jesus. So, but the rainbow is God's oath that he would never ever do a great flood ever again. And that's the true saga behind the rainbow. Yeah. Well, thank you for telling me that, Rainbow Bright, because very few folks would know that was, the grounds behind the rainbow. But isn't it true that the unstraight chose the rainbow for their flag? Yeah, it's true, Twink said that the rainbow was chosen for the unstraight followership's flag, but they don't have every color, every cast on there. And even if they chose the rainbow to be on their flag when they came up with a flag for their followership, I don't know if everyone and the straight followership and the non-straight followership, I don't know if they really all think the rainbow is what, It's true, the unstraight followership did choose the rainbow to go on their flag. For some folks who, happen to onlook the flag. But at the end of the day, even though the unstraight folks, not all of them, but many of them chose that to be on the flag for their followership or their beliefs, But the true oath of the rainbow is God giving his oath that he will never, ever do a great flood ever again. And believe it or not, all the casts of the rainbow happen to be for good things. So next time when you look at the rainbow, you know that the rainbow is there for good. Well, thank you, Rainbow Bright. And also thank you too, Twink. Because a lot of folks out there, it's the first time in a long time that I've been happy. And I want to say thank you to God and Jesus for working through you and with you, Rainbow Bright and Twink, because it's the first time I've truly been happy in a long time. And I have never been a happy bear. All right. Thank you, my friends. And thanks go to God Almighty and Jesus the Son, too. All right, where are we at here? Well, that was me. That was us with Grumpy the Bear from the Care Bears. We were in CAREALOT, and we got Grumpy to be happy for the first time in his life, And if you like that film, then by all means watch the other film he made yesterday around this time when me and Strawberry Shortcake were talking again. And that's all for us, and don't forget to have a rainbow day.